Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's continue reading Judge Dredd, shall we? It is still very quiet on the crime front when you get back to the plaza. With nothing urgent requiring your attention, there are two ways to keep yourself occupied while still cracking down on crime. To Crime Blitz apartments within Tom Clancy block, turn 210, whatever. If you wish, rather ask the public surveillance unit to identify known persons in the plaza and follow their movements, perhaps discovering illicit activity. Let's just go Crime Blitz apartments. Yeah. Judge Dredd, pimping it up. Oh. Alright. You park your Lawmaster in a Justice Department observation bay and make your way into the Tom Clancy block. Entering an elevator, you press the button for the 35th floor. Stepping out of the elevator, you start to walk your way down the corridor, informing control of your location and your intention to start performing searches of citizens' apartments to clamp down on illegal activity. No one else is visible in the graffiti-strewn hallway. You clearly have the element of surprise. You select the door at random and give a textbook kick, smashing it open. Good afternoon, citizens. You announce yourself. Crime Blitz. It is the first of many. You work your way down the corridor, arresting perps for various crimes such as sugar possession, unlicensed vid phones, breaking of fire, and hygiene regulations. Possession of stolen goods and illegal weapons. You leave your dozen prisoners to be collected by support teams and decide to start working on a different floor. Citizens here are now alerted, and undoubtedly much of the implicating evidence is being disposed of out of windows or down the plumbing. You arrive on the 57th floor and leave the elevator, only to hear sounds of screaming from further down the hallway. You rush down the hall to investigate the sounds. The second option is to advance more cautiously, making sure no one gets you in case some kind of diversion. Actually, let's do that. You carefully move forward to the source of noise, checking the corridor for suspicious activity as you go. It soon becomes apparent that the screaming is coming from a vid unit and is not someone in mortal danger. Good call. You notice a juvie down the side corridor, walking briskly away from you. You can continue to the apartment where the noise is coming from. We might stop the juvie for questioning and see if he is up to anything. I feel like this will be a dead end, but why not? You move quickly down the hallway and locate the apartment from which the screams are coming. You kick in the door, and inside you find an apartment covered in rubbish. It is clear that the noise is coming from an overloaded vid unit being watched by a disheveled 50-something man. He looks up and pushes a button on his remote. Quiet descent. Hi, Judge, says the filthy figure. Can't I help you? You look around at the disgusting pit and get out your cuffs. For starters, breaking health regs, 6 months. Noise violation, 3 months. There'll be more. The man looks in shock as he places the handcuffs on him. Okay, I admit. Oh, okay, I admit I ain't the tidiest of people. But the noise ain't my fault. It's the Grimleys. They made such a racket on a month or so back I could hardly hear my own vid in my own home. All that banging day and night. And now I ain't heard nothing for ages. I must have worked. What's the man to do? Another month for not reporting your neighbors. Noise violation, you reply. Oh, your neighbor's noise violation. You check in with control. Hank and Bartha Grimley have indeed lived in the next door apartment for 12 years. Their only crime on record involving some public disturbance charges. You can continue your search here to discover what other laws are being broken here. Your other option is to visit the Gremlins and see if they're responsible for any other violations. Oh, Dredd. You smash the door open. The Gremlins' apartment is a stark contrast to their other neighbors. Everything is immaculately clean and tidy. Everything aligned just so. A petite woman in her early 40s sits on a comfortable-looking armchair. Oh, you scared me for a moment there, Judge. Please come in. What can I do for you? The woman seems helpful enough, and there are no visible signs indicating any criminality. On questioning, she informs you that her husband is out shopping for the week of groceries, apparently he only missing by a few minutes. Do you have a quick look around the apartment before returning to your patrol? If you wish to carry out a full crime blitz scene, there might be something illegal here. Or, if you want PSU to track down the husband. Do you have a quick look around the apartment before returning to patrol? Crime Blitz. You begin to perform a detailed search of the apartment and is immediately apparent something is wrong. The apartment is too small. You turn to talk to Bartha Grimwood only to find her lunging towards you with a laser knife in her hand. A disconcertingly barely sane smile sits lopsided on her face. Okay. Bertha Grimwood, cray. Combat options. Nah. Don't need no medkit. Bam. Although we're gonna take a shit ton of damage here. Yeah. You deal a crushing blow. Bertha Grimwood is defeated.
Justice has been served.
If you defeat this crazy woman, turn to page 499. You land a solid blow to her head and the mad woman collapses, unconscious. You secure your prisoner and begin a detailed search of her home. You evidently detect a hastily constructed false wall and tear it down. Behind it you find month-old remains of a man, presumably Hank Grimwood. You surmise that the banging that Miss Grimwood's neighbor heard was Hank Grimwood trying to attract his attention. Aw, so much for good neighbors. You leave the scene for your backup to clear and move onto the streets. Okay. Anyways, the momentary lull in crime appears to be over, and life on the streets is returning to normal. Crime updates and reports, however minor, are streaming in from control. One item attracts your attention. Students from the University of 106 appear to be up to mischief around their campus. Oh Lord, we're gonna take on students. You approach the university and see a large crowd gathered in Jerry Springer Plaza. Jerry Springer. It appears to be good natured as you can make out laughter and clapping. However, with citizens, especially students, you can never tell. You walk across the plaza slowly to allow the crowds ahead to clear paths for you. Many of the citizens are laughing and smiling, three commenting on what a marvelous idea it is to collect money for charity in this way. As you get closer to the plaza, you see a young man carefully remove a purse from the shoulder bag of a lady in front of him. Nearby citizens just smile, pointing his actions and snigger. You move in to arrest the punk. Second officer questions nearby citizens and that's what exactly going on here. Last, you can stand back and observe the crowd. See what offenses are being committed. You walk up to the dunk and demand to know what is going on here. You explain to the university students Rag Week. They are busy running events to raise money for charity. The crowd here is participating in a charity dunk, where students pick the pockets of those in the crowd, and then the person realizes they can go to the desk at the front and have their wallet or purse returned. If they also wish to donate any cash, they're then free to do so, but if not, they can walk away with their belongings. That's kind of interesting. Have you found out what is going on? Do you arrest him anyway? I found out, do you arrest him anyway? Arrest him and the rest of the students involved. Oh Lord, you gotta arrest everyone, don't you? Alright, we're going big. There's no doubt in your mind that widespread law breaking is occurring here, and the best way to deal with this is to arrest the entire crowd. Oh, Judge Dredd. You're all under arrest. Sit down and wait for processing your shot. Citizens will come on so uncertain as what to do. Make an authority check. You are the law.
Smartest thing you'll do this year.
The crowd murmurs in protest, but you are Judge Dredd, a legendary figure in law enforcement in Mega City 1. A few, mostly those closest to you, begin to obey your instructions. Gradually the others follow suit until every one of the crowd, several hundred people, is more or less passively awaiting their sentences. You call for backup to process your prisoners. You charge them with a variety of public nuisance offenses. The heaviest sentences are given to those organizing the event. And there's not one of these things. As you search your prisoners, you find more of the voice of Dredd devices. This time you resist the temptation to push any of the red buttons, although you note the LED number is now 143. By the time you finish processing these petty criminals, the number is 111, as it takes a good half hour to finally finish with the last of your arrests. It is a clock counting down. Okay. Allowing you to resume your patrol. You have a report of a drunk Carrie Walk. Currently, the closest location where crime has been reported. Also, Control reports a group of young Jews acting suspiciously near some derelict buildings in Cooper Street. Let's go after kids. You, child, are under arrest. You make your way to the Cooper, and once there, a group of young Jews catches your attention. Cries of "Fight! Fight! Fight!" reach your ears as several young boys square off opposite a smaller girl. It appears the Jews are in a spirited argument, although there is no violence from either party. At the moment, none of the Jews run away as you approach. You question the Jews, and one of the older boys replies to try and explain the situation and putting his opinions. The youngest girl, Lucy, skulks, and only her responses and her retorts statements made by her tormentors. Lucy says she's got a pet kitty, Judge. The older boy says. Lucy says, "Have to." "No, you haven't. Everyone knows there's no such thing." Lucy sniffs again. "You'll see. Anyway, my dad says you need a license to have a pet. You haven't got one. So you're going to the cubes." Lucy sobs and says, "I'm gonna prove it, you smelly muggles." At this point, the girl darts into a boarded up shop before you can stop her. Immediately followed by one of the boys. If you follow the two Jews that fled the shop, detain the remaining Jews before going after the two. Oh Lord, let's just arrest everyone. Fuck it, why not? The Jews are young enough to be in awe of you and your authoritative presence. You contact Control and tell the youngsters to wait until you can speak to them later. With the Jews taken care of, you move off and enter the shop. The gap in the boards over the door is far too small for you to slip through, and you are displayed as one as you pull off a more scary larger opening. Once you have done so, you enter the building. It is clear this place has been deserted for some time. Any fittings and furnishings have long since been removed, and piles of plaster have been seen on the floor where it has come away from the walls. Small puddles are everywhere as a result of partially absent roof. It is clear this place is long overdue for demolition. 13 minutes. Okay, we're good. You can hear voices up ahead. You hear the young girl's voice. "Here, pretty kitty, mommy has a friend for you to see. Say hi to Mikey, little kitty." "Wow, it's true," Mikey cries in astonishment. A low growl comes from ahead. You begin to move forward. The sounds more quickly. "Don't be scared, kitty. Mikey won't hurt you," the young girl, presumably Lucy, explains. You hear a hissing sound, and then you hear the boy, who you assume is Mikey, cried, "Ow, it scratched me. I'm gonna tell the judges, they won't shoot you and your stupid kitty." Then there is a yowl of pain from whatever animal is with the children. "Don't pull kitty's tail," the girl warns. This is followed by a Jew scream, "Bad kitty, put Mikey down." You hear the girl reprimanding. A purring sound of contentment can be heard among the echoing walls. The girl is still talking to her pet. "Spit him out now." This time it's order from the young girl. The unknown animal growls in response. "Ow, bad kitty. Smack kitty, you're not allowed to bite mommy. Look, you made mommy bleed. Ouch. Let go of my arm, kitty." From the rising panic in the child's voice, it is obvious something is very bad is happening. Yeah, it's not quite a kitty, is it? You turn the corner to find the girl held in the jaws of a large alien cat-like creature some 15 feet or so in length. If you take your aim and attempt to bring down, despite the juvie being at least partially in the way, try and show the juve safety by attacking the creature with your boot knife. You realize that your only hope to save the child is to get in close with the beast and use your boot knife. Your sudden charge surprises the creature and you manage to get in a few blows before it drops the juvie and begins in earnest to fight you. You must fight the alien animal. Yeah. The creature said alien creature takes 8 damage. Nice. Come on. Defend. Oh shit. Take 14 damage. Ouch. Come on. The alien creature's hit. The alien takes 12 damage. Nice. Just gotta block this one last one and we is good. Okay, that is bad. Come on, take him down. Take him down. Yeah! You deal a crushing blow. The alien is dead.
Some creeps need a dental visit.
If you manage to kill the strange creature, if this alien horror is too much for even a seasoned judge, Trollian Jakashish. You stab the creature again and again before it finally collapses on top of you. You struggle out from under the animal and pick up the injured juvie, leaving the building by the same way you entered. Backup units arrive and treat the girl. When they are done, you sentence her to 14 days for trespass in the juvie cubes. Having dealt with the situation, you return to your duties. Jesus Christ. There are reports of an accident on the Ken Dodd block of the Duddery, an OAC old age citizen block of sheltered housing, if you want to investigate this. Finally, a member of the Jeff Bridges Dudes gang has approached you while you're getting the updates from Control. He claims there's a major act of vandalism occurring not far from your current location. Let's check out the accident. Oh Lord. Old people. Old people. You arrive to Ken Dodd with Control directing you to the scene of an accident. Reach an observation bay in a shopping mall within the block and can clearly see the problem. A sidewalk outside Magoo's optometrist has a pile of old age citizens in obvious difficulties. Several appear unconscious. Others are screaming in pain. As you watch, another OAC approaches the area some 20 meters before the end of the sidewalk and falls hard. They slide along and add to the pile of already injured citizens. Clearly you can see a group of punks who are laughing and satiated their elders find themselves in. You can jump on the sidewalk and move to help the OACs, or you can contact Block and see if you can get help. Finally, you can move to where the punks are and question them as to what is going on. Let us do that. The punks are overcome with laughter, and you are able to approach them unnoticed. Another OAC falls down to their renewed merriment. You cough. One by one, the punks turn around and stop laughing, apart from a few barely contained snickers. Yeah, what? You look over the punks, a fairly typical assortment, not wearing any gang colors, though this is not uncommon. One member of the group appears to be trying to remain at the back of the piers. He appears to be concealing something behind his back. You can order him to freeze and see what he has to hide. Alternatively, you can order the entire group to turn around, put their hands against the wall. Who, me? Asks the punk as you hear a large thud of a large bottle of some liquid hitting the ground, momentarily distracting you. However, some tricks are not going to fool a judge of your experience, and you're already firing when the punk's comes up, dropping him. The other punks take an instant to realize what is going on before they too go for their weapons. You should know before his gun is fully pulled from his belt, leaving you 3 others to overcome. I believe.
No problem.
Oh yeah. The punks respond to your challenge by drawing concealed guns. You drop them one by one. Their lack of training and discipline readily apparent as you are able to finish them off quickly. Once you call in the meat wagons and search the bodies, you discover a large container of chemical Frictigo. This is apparently the substance the punk were using to make the sidewalk so dangerous. Among the other items you find when searching the gang is one of the small devices with a button on them. You press to make sure and hear more. Move, punks, or I'll crack some skulls. You are going to have words with whoever's producing these things. You note the LED display is now down to 78. Whatever it's counting down to is going to happen in 78 minutes. You can only hope it is not something major. With 2 dead and several more hospitalized, you reflect on a prank gone very wrong. Medical personnel take away the injured, while specially equipped robots deal with the liquid already on the sidewalk. You mount up on your bike and are ready to leave. Ken Dodd. You contact Control, and they report a huge disturbance at the Andy Warhol Exhibit Center. What are we on for time? Just a little bit. The Andy Warhol complex is one of the sector's success stories. The exhibition center is enormous. Its 9 buildings are identical from the outside, but differentiated by vivid colors. Within serve a variety of uses. The Cinematorium is considered one of the best in the city, and its 30-plus screens show the latest blockbusters. Give me a sec, folks. Smaller and specialist releases. The museum and art gallery buildings house 2 of the best collections to be found anywhere, let alone within Mega City 1. The money the trade halls bring in is vital for the sector's economy. The people of the sector are quite proud of the Warhol complex, especially when visitors from other sectors try to run it down. You check with Control. Apparently the disturbance is in Building 8, housing the Opera House and multiple auditoriums. The quickest route is to reach it via Pedway, although there is an easier to access route than the circular road of the complex. If you run up the Pedway and send your lawmaster off to meet you at the scene, if you decide to ride to the disturbance in the circular road, otherwise you can throw caution to the wind and ride almost up the Pedway. Yeah, let's do that. You dismount and make your way up the Pedway, keen to get to the disturbance as quickly as possible. As you run, you spot a group of young adults at an intersection scattering off in different directions. It is soon clear why. Several citizens are lying on the ground, clearly recent victims of a tap gang. Do you order the perps to stop, threatening them with the use of full force if they do not comply? Do you shout brief warning and then try and bring down one of the perps with a leg shot? Or do you chase after what looks like the leader of the gang? Let's do that. Stop! There's nowhere to run, creeps. You shot towards the fleeing gang members. Research your authority. You are the law.
Smartest thing you'll do this year.
Another one of these things, Jesus Christ. Your shots seem to have an effect as a couple of other runners, clearly less fit than you are, freeze in their tracks, wheezing and coughing. Having caught 2 of the perps, you search them and confiscate an assortment of illegal items. Taking care to place them in your bike's storage containers for later deconstruction. You find one of the smaller bike boxes with a button on it and manage to avoid pressing it for once. You then handcuff the perps to some nearby railings that call Control to send in a catch wagon to pick them up for lengthy sentences. You also put out an alert for the escaping perps. With this rubbish taken care of, you can continue towards Warhol. And I do believe that's gonna call it a break for now. I need to give my voice a break. I'm starting to Anyways, I'll see you folks later.